Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast. I'm your host, Narita McInnes. And if you have ever felt like you are pushing shit uphill to get things done, to bring your vision to life, whatever it might be in any area of your life, this one is for you.
Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. The Rock the Ripple podcast with Narita McInnes.
Let's do this. Okay, so have you ever just felt so freaking frustrated and stuck, or just you just want to throw your computer out the window, or maybe you just want to go outside and scream your face off because things just don't seem to be working in the way that you want them to be working. You can see your vision and you know what you want to be doing, but you just feel like you are literally pushing shit uphill. I can totally relate. Definitely been there many, many times. And I guess what I wanted to share with you today is some of the things that may be at play when these things are when you are feeling like you are trying to do something and it does feel like you're pushing shit uphill. Technical term, of course, but really, those times do test us. But they also do grow us, of course. You're going to say, Narita, of course these things grow us, of course. But when you're in it, it just feels like shit. And I get it. I totally get it. But maybe, here's some of the reasons. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe right now the reason it is feeling like that is because you are not supposed to be doing that thing yet. Or there is more things to fall into place in order for you to do the thing better than you could ever thought it could ever be. Maybe you are getting taught a lesson. Taught a lesson, but maybe there's a lesson there for you. You know, like maybe the lesson is patience. I know that one has been something that I definitely had to tap into. Maybe there is resistance there. Maybe deep down you don't truly believe you can do the thing, so you feel like you're pushing this shit uphill, but actually what's there is resistance within you to actually do the thing because you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you don't really feel like you can do the thing, you've got imposter syndrome, you don't feel worthy. Those things can be at play. And so when you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward, 27,000 steps back, it's because maybe you have a program running within yourself that is telling you on a subconscious level, don't do that thing, because if you do that thing, you're going to be successful and then you will be seen, and you don't want to be seen because when you were seen when you were little, you got teased, you got picked on, and things weren't fun and it was painful. So that can happen as well too. So when you're in that place, aside from, wanting to punch a wall or sort of get frustrated or just fall in a heap and just do nothing at all, you could do those things. I mean, if you're not hurting anyone, don't hurt yourself punching your hand into the wall, but take a moment just to go, all right, I am just going to surrender to this moment right now. And I'm just not going to do anything for a minute. And I'm just going to just be. And allow yourself to be in the moment and to really let yourself feel how you are feeling. To really take in what it is you're feeling around the thing. Now, I know what it feels like to want to do something, especially if you're determined and you know you want to do something and the vision is clear. Or maybe the vision... That gets me to another point. Maybe the vision isn't clear enough, and that's why you feel like you're pushing shit uphill. Or maybe you just need to allow for things to unfold. But as I was saying, take a moment, take more than a moment, and just let go of the thing. Just go, all right, I'm not going to think about this for a little bit. Or I'm just going to take myself away from this thing and just let it be. Just let it be. Just let it unravel as it needs to. And maybe you take yourself for a walk down the beach. Maybe you go and sit by a tree. Hug a tree. Trees are great. Give a tree a hug. High five it if you're feeling a bit weird about hugging it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Give yourself some space to just allow for things to kind of clear out. You know, like when you throw a rock into a muddy puddle, or into a puddle and it gets all muddy. When everything's all muddy, you can't really make a clear decision or know what thing to do next. So you want to just allow things to settle, allow for the water in the puddle just to get clear and just to be still. And then you can make better decisions from there when you are clearer. And maybe it is like so many of the times that I've been feeling this way. I can look back in hindsight, and I know hindsight's just so great, but I can look back in hindsight and go, you know what? It was supposed to be like that. I wasn't supposed to have that thing unravel just yet, because there was more for me to learn. Like I think about when I started working for myself. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was over 10 years ago now. And there's so much that I've had to learn on a personal level to really get this depth of knowingness and understanding, not only of myself, but just how to do things, just how to create, just all these different things, these little nuts and bolts. And I'm sure that you can relate. Like, you know, it's like the example of, you know, if you were going to learn a musical instrument, if you wanted to learn the guitar and you picked it up today, you're not going to be able to play like a pro tomorrow. So that's why the timing thing is so important with all of this to keep in mind, because there's stuff you got to learn along the way, and there's things that need to fall into place along the way. And similarly, if you have so much going on and there's so much you want to be doing, and you've got all these balls in the air, you know, that's like picking up a guitar, grabbing a piano, maybe jumping on the piano, the triangle, just like drums, getting all of these musical instruments all at once and trying to learn them all at once. I mean, that's going to be overwhelming as well too. So when you've got all these balls in the air, you're trying to do all this stuff, you know, you're going to feel like that mud in the pond, aren't you? You're going to feel like that mud in the pond. So when you feel like you're stuck and you want to do these things, I think, like I said before, you know, sometimes you're not supposed to take the action just yet. It doesn't mean you don't do anything ever. It just means you stop and recalibrate when you're in that time of feeling stuck. And then you can ask yourself, what one thing can I do right now to bring me closer to my goal? What one thing can I do right now to bring me closer to that feeling that I'm wanting to feel? You know, it's not always a goal. It's not always a thing. It might be a feeling. It might be a way of life. What one thing can I do right now to feel fitter or healthier? What one thing can I do right now to get me closer to starting the business or writing the book? You know, like whatever it might be, then you can just do one thing from there and allow yourself to be okay with however long it's going to take, because the thing that is meant for you is meant for you. It's not going anywhere, and maybe it just needs time. I think timing is huge. I really feel like timing is huge, and what we need to learn, the lessons underneath those things along the way, that's all part of it. It's all part of it. And different people will talk about the hero's journey. You know, you start off, you're excited, you want to do this thing, and you know what you want to do, and then you face all this shit, and you're like, it's not working, and you know, you build your strength and your courage, and then you start to learn some things, and then you bring those things into where you are now, and then you start walking between two worlds. You've got this wisdom, you've got this knowledge, and you're like, now I get why I couldn't have done it here, because I needed to go through this to get to here. I talk about the movie The Labyrinth, where she, you know, I've talked about it a few times if you've listened to other things that I've chin-wagged about, but you know, she had to go through the maze, she had to go through all that adventure to get to the other side. She couldn't just go from here to here. There's no learning in that. And maybe at some level of consciousness, we don't need to do that, but we're having a human experience. So in this human experience that we're having together, then part of our journey, part of what we're here to do is to experience all the different feelings and the learnings and the growings, you know? So, yeah. And I guess too, like it's the resistance that pops up as well too. Like we have the resistance, like when we have that resistance, like maybe, like I said before, there's something there to look at or to be healed, or maybe just trying too hard. Like when you're trying too hard, that creates resistance as well. So there's so many things, but ultimately we are here, like I said, to have a human experience. And when we do feel like we're pushing shit uphill, there might be a reason. And so it's up to us to tap into our intuition and to tap into why that might be for us. And I really feel as we're talking this out together that it does come a lot down to timing, that things do need to unfold as we go along. So if you are just taking the smallest steps towards what it is that you want to be doing, that creates a compound effect, you know, like one step. It's not like you do one step and that's it. And then the next day you do one step and it doesn't add up. Those things add up over time. So you're learning how to do things. You're becoming more courageous. You're becoming more confident in yourself and your ability to do the thing, whatever it is, or to be that thing, whatever that is, you know? So yeah, I just thought I would share that today with you. If you're ever feeling like you're pushing shit uphill, consider all of those things. And yeah, I just wanted to share this short little shift with you today on the podcast. I hope you have got something out of it. And just know that wherever this may meet you, you have so got this. You've so got this. And like I said before, that thing in your heart is there for a reason. I didn't say that, did I? But I'm telling you that thing in your heart is there for a reason. But that thing that you want, that wants you, that is what I said, I'm pretty sure. It wants you and it is there for you. It's not going to go anywhere. You just got to keep taking those steps forward. And what one aligned action step can you take right now? Whether it's to let the mud clear in the pond, whether it's to go for a walk, whether it's to just be, whether it's to do one step, one action step towards whatever it is that you're doing or want to feel. All of that. That is up to you. That is up to you. So I'll think. Gosh, I can't talk today, but look, I hope you're with me. But look, thank you so much for being here as always. I hope you have got something out of today, and I look forward to catching up with you in another podcast, whether it's a short shift like this or a chin wag with another awesome human. As always, thank you so much for being here. Leave your thoughts. What do you do when you feel like you are pushing shit uphill? What are some of the key bits of advice or wisdom that you can share with me and the community in the comments below? Please do that. I always love hearing from you. And if you haven't, as always, like, subscribe, share this with a friend, give it a review if you're listening on the podcast, wherever that might be. Thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next time.